Hey, I'm going to show you how to make a steel texture in Photoshop, and you're going to create a new document, image type, whatever you want to call it, and set your resolution as any size that goes as following. For example, 256 by 256, 512 by 512, 1024 by 1024, 2048 by 2048, and so on. Even though 1024 by 1024 is acceptable, and in this case even 512 by 512 will work because this texture doesn't have much detail and could actually be saved in the .gif format because it only has 1, 2, or 3 colors. And the first thing you want to do is find a brush, this brush to be exact, a default Photoshop brush, and then you're going to go to Window, Brush, and reduce the roundness to about 5. Then you're going to specify 2 colors, gray and black. And then you're going to take your brush and just draw. Increase the brush size also. Try to keep this consistent. And little to no overlap between passes. This as is can possibly serve as a bump map for some machined type of metal right now. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe it's knurled, Knurled. This could work. It could be the knurled metal finish with imperfections. But to make the steel texture that I was speaking of, brush steel texture, I guess, you go to Filter, Blur, and Motion Blur when you have your white space painted, and you specify the angle. About 123, redo it, and then paint in some of the other white areas. And you can already see the basics of the texture. And try to draw your lines as straight as possible, as in up, down. As you can see, mine were off a bit. And redo the motion blur filter. Longer gives a smoother transition, shorter gives a rougher type effect with harsher transition, I guess. But anyways, basic long distance, smooth transition, smooth texture. Short distance, harsh transition, harsh texture, coarse texture. And to draw a straight line, you can hold shift while dragging. And if you don't let go of shift, you can snap to the next location. Shift, drag all the way down. Shift, drag all the way down, let go of shift. Click shift again, click and drag all the way down, let go of shift. Click and drag all the way down, and repeat. Remember to let go of shift before clicking the next area. And let's do filter, blur, motion blur again. You can see the textures turning out with that brushed look. And white space was essential for the brush type finish. You can either do Control F if you like the previous filter setting, or you can adjust it. And your texture as is can be tiled in any axis because it's just repeating colors anyways. So for example, I'm going to double my canvas size to 28.44 by 28.44. I'm going to select my white space by using the magic wand, tolerance to 0 and contiguous, and then I'm going to hit Control I to invert the selection, then layer via cut, Control T, or my mistake, layer via copy, Control T, and well, let's see if we can fix that. So to make a tileable texture, we would have to go to offset, and before that, let's see our texture size, 1024. I forgot about that. Anyways, filter, other, and then offset, and do half of 1024, half of the dimension. So for me it's 512 by 512, and then see what you can do about these. Let's see what the smudge tool does. What I'm doing is holding shift to only smudge on the XY axis. As I mentioned earlier, that you can do to paint this. Control Z to quickly undo one step, and Control Alt plus Z to go more than one step backward. And the result was better. As you can see, there's a smooth transition, even though these things are still a bit noticeable. Anyways, that's your whatever brush steel tutorial, and This texture resembles a texture I saw at a department store, at Target specifically. It was a table and it had very thin, I guess, aluminum type. It was an aluminum structure, but this was the finish. Anyways, see ya.